Pronounced, defined, used in lexical dispatch.
Austere, adjective, austerely, austereness, austerity, stern or severe in manner or attitude, serious or sober or grave, self-disciplined, ascetic, very simple or plain, manipulate, verb, manipulatable, manipulation, manipulator, manipulatory, to work, operate, or handle with hands, especially with skill, to skillfully or cunningly oversee or govern, frequently through unfair or deceitful manipulation of influence, to distort numbers, records, prices, etc., for personal gain or advantage, to rig. The austere monastery atop the hill seemed to emanate an aura of solemnity and discipline. Her austere demeanor often intimidated those around her, giving the impression of strictness and severity. Despite his wealth, he chose to live an austere lifestyle, preferring simplicity and frugality. The architecture of the building was characterized by its austere lines and lack of ornamentation. The judge's austere ruling left little room for leniency, adhering strictly to the letter of the law. The desert landscape appeared austere, with its vast stretches of barren land and sparse vegetation. The artist's work was often criticized for its austere beauty, devoid of embellishments or sentimentality. In times of austerity, people often have to adjust their lifestyles to make ends meet. Despite his austere upbringing, he maintained a sense of generosity and compassion towards others. The classroom decorations were deliberately kept austere to minimize distractions and foster focus on learning. The government implemented austerity measures to address the economic crisis, leading to widespread cutbacks and belt-tightening. His speech was marked by a certain austereness, devoid of unnecessary embellishments or flourishes. He tried to manipulate the outcome of the election by spreading false information and propaganda. The magician deftly manipulated the cards, dazzling the audience with his sleight of hand. She felt manipulated by her boss, who constantly used guilt trips to get her to work overtime. The pharmaceutical company was accused of manipulating the results of clinical trials to make their drug appear more effective. He learned how to manipulate the controls of the airplane with precision during his flight training. The sculptor manipulated the clay into intricate shapes, creating a masterpiece from a lump of earth. The dictator manipulated the media to portray himself as a beloved leader, despite widespread oppression and human rights abuses. The defendant tried to manipulate the evidence to make it seem like he was innocent. She accused her friend of manipulating her emotions to get what she wanted. The artist manipulated light and shadow to create a striking visual effect in his painting. The politician targeted vulnerable populations, knowing they were more manipulatable and easily swayed by emotional appeals. The investigation uncovered evidence of widespread manipulation of financial markets by major banking institutions. The con artist was a master manipulator, preying on the vulnerabilities of his victims to extract money from them. In psychology, manipulatory behaviors are often studied to understand how individuals influence others.